We've been covering the Occupy movement since before it even began, when Anonymous and Adbusters made their calls in the summer of 2011. And you'll recall that in November of 2011, this was after Zuccotti Park was already raided by the NYPD, and the Zuccotti New York Occupy Wall Street camp was shuttered. Over on the West Coast, the Occupy movement was just starting to get into full force, with the college students starting to get involved on their campuses. And in November 2011, there was a moment that reinvigorated the Occupy movement. And that was when a UC Davis, a University of California Davis, police lieutenant, Lieutenant John Pike, went over to a group of Occupy protesters who were also students at UC Davis, who were peacefully demonstrating by sitting across a paved walkway on the campus. If you recall the video, there was plenty of room to walk around them. They weren't really blocking anything off. It was a peaceful, nonviolent demonstration. He met that demonstration with a blast of pepper spray to their faces. And when he did that, if you recall the video, these kids were crying out in pain. This wasn't some quick pepper spray blast that you'll see when police are trying to subdue somebody who's trying to escape them. This was a full-blown pepper spray blast into a group of kids sitting on the floor who were not moving, and it was a constant stream. It was just horrible to watch. Well, that saga is now completely concluded with the news. Well, as far as I know, completely concluded with the news that UC Davis will be awarding $38,000 workman's compensation to Lieutenant John Pike in a settlement.
Are you kidding me?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? I'd like for you to recall first that he lost his job in July of 2012, which meant he was sitting around 8 months on paid suspension. So during that paid suspension time, he earned $80,000. So while he was sitting home during a suspension, he was getting paid $80,000. So this $38,000 comes on top of the $80,000 he made during suspension. He was making $121,680 a year.
This story is making me feel like a Republican. I have to say, I'm enraged. This guy's sitting around. He's a useless public menace, and then he sits on his couch and gets all this public money.
Well, before he was a public
menace, obscene.
Before he was an outed public menace.
Yes.
Sitting on his couch making this money. He was making $121,680 a year as a cop, and in late last year, the demonstrators who sued UC Davis received a $1 million settlement. And when you divide that settlement up between the 21 plaintiffs and their attorneys, each protester who was sprayed in the face with the pepper spray by Lieutenant John Pike for a peaceful demonstration on the campus, they were each left with about $30,000, which means the person who did this to them is walking away with $8,000 more because of what he did than the people he did this to.
That's just, this is almost like the police thug. Think of Occupy Wall Street. The whole movement came because Wall Street destroyed the economy. Everybody else had to pick up the bill. And then people like these students went out on their college campuses, and literally they're sitting around on a walk. I mean, if anybody's been to a college campus, these are like, there is no militancy in this at all. And any type of militancy wouldn't excuse what he did. But this is like, it was so, if you've seen the video, and he just nonchalantly walks up, takes out this pepper spray, and blasts these kids in the face. Like, he isn't even looking at them. Almost like he's just spraying, like, Raid in his house.
Yes, that's
to
exactly
get rid
what
of
it
bugs.
looks like. Yes.
It's one of the most disturbing things. And this thuggish behavior is like, it's a microcosm of what happened in this country over the last several years. In some respects, it really is. And the fact that they get less, I mean,
without a doubt,
Jesus,
yeah.
at least they got something, but they get a fraction of what he
got,
gets.
yes.
Unbelievable.
I would just like to add this one additional quote from Bernie Goldsmith, who's a Davis attorney who's supportive of the student protesters. He said that the settlement sends a clear message to the next officer nervously facing off with a group of passive, unarmed students. Go on ahead. Brutalize them. Trample their rights. You will be well taken care of. And I sort of wanted to say that quote. It's a great quote, but also I could almost picture like police captains going up to their officers and saying, don't worry about these these Occupy protesters. Just go on ahead, beat them up, trample on their rights. We will make sure you're taken care of.
I mean, it's also the same principle with Wall Street again. I mean, one of the reasons you criminally hold Wall Street accountable is because it's not about revenge or it's like if you tell somebody clearly that there's no consequences for these actions, then you're going to do things. I mean, when I was a teenager, I did some things I shouldn't have done. Let me tell you, if it was made clear to me that I could get away with more because there was no consequences, I would have gone for getting away with even more. It's astonishing, and I would recommend everybody go and look back. If you don't remember, go back and look up. It also became a viral.
Oh, it was a meme where people cut
meme.
out. They cut out the pepper spray cop in mid pepper spraying action, and they were basically putting him on all these different pop culture references where he was just pepper spraying everything.
There's a painting. There's an impressionist painting. I think I forgot who did it, but it's a really kind of beautiful bucolic painting of people at a garden party on a riverbank, and somebody dropped pepper spray cop in the middle of it, and he's pepper spraying all of the guests. But it's obscene and unbelievable.
Next, I'm sure he'll be going for some sort of.
He'll be a contributor at Fox next.
No, next he'll probably go for some sort of a compensation over the memes that went viral.
Like, I was really hurt. And by the way,
$1 for every 1,000 page views, my meme contributed to your website.
In my job as UC Davis security officer, I was privy to U.S. national intelligence, and I know that Barack Obama is a bisexual Muslim.
So he'll get on Breitbart. He'll get a Fox contract. He will be amply rewarded for being a thug.
Yes, he will.